Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tuned. In the last video, you guys saw that I got the Dyno jet installed into the ground, and we got everything plugged in, and I showed you all the parts that I got from Dyno jet and how to hook it up and stuff like that. So we got the Dyno in the ground, everything plugged in, but in the last video, I couldn't get the Dyno to actually work. I couldn't get it to register mile per hour, and two reasons for that. One is this is a 4-foot roller. It's a big drum. So me kicking it and it only having 2 tabs on the drum for every rotation, it would have taken me a lot of kicks. I don't know if I'd be able to kick that fast in order to get it to register. So I put the Del Sol on the Dyno to do some more testing with it. I also got some D hooks in the ground. So I got 2 way out here towards the grass, and then there's 2 up there by the car, there's 2 more behind the car, and then 2 more way back there. So I can put the car on pretty much any direction I want. So anyways, back to the story, and then I'll show you the D-hooks. So I put the car on the Dyno, and I went like 70 miles an hour. Then I got the speed to read. It was only reading like 10 miles an hour. So it was way off. I called Dyno Jet, and I spent like 2 days going through the software. I hit up a bunch of people on Facebook that I know have Dyno Jets. Nobody seemed to really have this issue, and there was no way for me to adjust. I went through I made custom channels. I made like a custom speed channel and made sure the input was there. I checked the configuration of the Dyno, and it said it has 2 tabs. It was a 248 drum, or 248 Dyno, whatever. All that stuff was set up right, so I was going nuts, like, why is this not working? So I called Dyno Jet, and they said, oh yeah, we configured your Dyno box wrong. So when they sent it to me, they put a decimal place in the wrong spot, so instead of it being a 248, it was like a 2.48 or something like that. I spent days trying to go into the software to try to figure out how to adjust stuff. Turns out, you gotta call Dyno Jet. They don't allow you any configuration of the Dyno. You can't adjust anything. The tooth count on the Dyno, you can't adjust the roller size, the weight, all that stuff. On the Your Dyno software that I used to have with my old Dyno, I had to configure all that stuff myself, so I figured that's how kind of this was. But Dyno Jet, I don't know if they're patented or what, I can't access any of that stuff, and they had to manually adjust it over the internet, and they had to send an update to my Dyno. And he's like, yeah, there must have been a decimal place in the wrong spot. We'll get you fixed up. So I called them. Within 5 minutes, my Dyno was fixed. They recalibrated it, sent me an update, and now the Dyno works perfect. Mile an hour is right on, and we got horsepower, torque, RPM, all of it is working flawless. With that being said, I'm gonna show you these hooks, and I also want to know what you guys think of the new microphone. I'm walking out here in the wind. I don't know how bad the wind noise is. I don't know if this was like a sign from God or something, but my kid dropped my brand new camera and he broke the microphone that was on top of it. So this camera comes with a microphone, and this little thing that goes on it, he dropped it off the computer desk and it broke the microphone. I forgot that I had this Rode mic sitting around. So this is a Rode, I don't know what kind of microphone it is, but I have it plugged into my new camera. Hopefully the audio is better. Hopefully we can get some good audio of the cars as well. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the audio a little bit better on this microphone versus the one that came with my camera. All right guys, so it's the next day, and I did quite a bit of dynoing yesterday. We were out here the majority of the day. I dynoed 4 cars. The Del Sol you guys are going to see in this video, and then the next video we're gonna do a comparison between my buddy's Type R, my bolt-on tuned GSR, and kind of see the power differences between the two. And I filmed all day yesterday with this new microphone, and I did not test it, so I'm sorry. Please bear with me. My footage and filming and videos are all getting better, but they are taking a little bit of time to get stuff ironed out and to figure out what works and what doesn't. And so sorry about the bad audio in probably the next video and in part of this video. When I film the cars with this new microphone, the microphone works great for picking up my voice when I'm talking towards it, but for example, if I talk to it this way, you probably can't hear me that well. I don't know if this is any better if I'm talking towards the microphone like this. It's tough, I don't know. But just having a microphone attached to my selfie stick here and stuff like that has been a learning curve, and I'm not no professional, so I just wanted to give you guys a fair warning that the microphone is working great in certain circumstances, like me talking to you guys. It probably sounds really good, but when we're doing car stuff, I still got to figure out something to do differently with filming the cars, especially like my S2000. I just put this on the dyno, and I had the camera setting over here, and it was like, I don't know, kind of blowing out the microphone a little bit. Because this stuff's really loud. It's probably kind of hard to capture it perfectly, but my iPhone does capture it really well. So still working on some stuff. And we were getting some really good results with the Del Sol, my buddy's Integra, and that's it. My Blue Hatch and the S2000, with the tach signal hooked up, the inductive pickup for the dyno was not actually giving me clean signal. And I don't know what the deal is there, if it's like something to do with the car or whatever. You guys will probably see that in the next video too. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are just like, oh, well, just use the roller speed versus RPM thing, which is what I did on my old dyno, but I'm trying to avoid having to do that. I would rather just hook up an inductive pickup. Then I can dyno the car in any gear and still get a clean RPM signal, like whether I'm doing second or third or fourth or whatever, instead of having to sync the car for the gear I'm going to be running in. Because sometimes when I'm tuning, I like to do pulls in third, fourth, fifth, whatever. I like to do it all to kind of get a broad sweep of things. And if I'm constantly having to change roller RPM to match the car RPM, I don't know. I don't know how much of a pain in the ass it is to do it, but I know a lot of people were recommending that. So yeah, I have a hook out here and over there, and then if we walk towards the dyno, I have one here and here. Another cool thing about this DynoJet pit is if I have like a really high horsepower car and these two straps are not enough, it's cool because you can take these pit covers off and you can actually strap the car down to pull it down onto the drum. That's like a technique. You know, you see guys like standing on the car or standing on the bumper or standing in the doors to get some weight on the car. That's like a trick you guys can do, is if, you know, you can actually strap the car straight down if you have a pit deep enough like this. So yeah, here's another set of hooks back here that I put in, and then some way back here for, you know, just multiple strapping points. So I can put the car inside of the dyno cell like this, facing out, and the exhaust facing that way, or I can flip the car around and I can run it the other way, and I have hooks for all of it. So that's kind of nice. I have 8 hooks total, so I can run, honestly, I can probably run pickup trucks either direction. I can run frickin' limos one way. We got ability to do them all. So I got the Del Sol strapped on, and I'm gonna kind of do a run with you guys and show you how this all works. This is the inductive pickup. So this is the secondary one that they sent me. The primary inductive pickup actually didn't pick up any RPM signal off of this Honda Civic, or this Del Sol with the B series. So this is the secondary one that they sent. The clamp actually fits the spark plug wire, where the other one doesn't fit the wire. I think that one's for like maybe a coil pack or something. That one might work better. But this inductive pickup has like a wider opening, so it actually fits over the spark plug wire. So I just put it on the number 1 spark plug wire. I have the ground right going to the distributor there, and then I have this cord running off of it, and I had to actually plug in. So this is the secondary cable that they sent me, and I plugged it into the primary spot on the dyno computer, and then I got a tach signal. Everything was working great. So tach signal working, atmosphere sensor working. Let's go turn the dyno computer on, and then we will do a test run, and I'm going to show you kind of what this thing looks like. And yeah, like I said, it was really cool that DynoJet reached out, or answered the phone within 5 minutes, and was able to fix my dyno remotely with just an update. Like I said, thank God I have Wi-Fi out here, because if I didn't have Wi-Fi, I don't think I'd even be able to use this dyno. And it is actually kind of cool if you think about it, because DynoJet is like the industry standard for like horsepower numbers, you know, SAE, STD, whatever those number, you know, whatever that is. There's like uncorrected, STD, SAE, JIS, and like a couple other ones. And it's pretty cool that DynoJet has a fixed thing. That's why on my last dyno, I calibrated my dyno to match a DynoJet, because they're pretty strict. You know, like, hey, we're not, you know, you can't adjust anything. All right, so we got the car warming up in the dyno cell, and you can see we got a tach reading. So there's off of the inductive pickup. If we rev the car, we should see that go up. It is working. It's just a little delayed because I feel like everything on the DynoJet software has to go through a Wi-Fi network and then to the PC afterwards. So I feel like, you know, some of the stuff is like ever so slightly behind, or maybe my CPU isn't fast enough for my $100 Facebook Marketplace computer. I'm not really sure. So the car should be warmed up. Let's give her a rip. So we gotta hit the red button. So we hit the red button. The drum right now is locked. You can't move it. Hit the red button. And we're live at 5, ready to make a run. So before I make a run, I'm gonna get the car up in like 3rd gear. I'm gonna hit the green button, and then after the run, I'm gonna hit the green button again, and the red button. Or I'm gonna hit the green button to start, the red button to stop, and when I hit the red button, the drum's automatically gonna stop. So let's give this thing a rip and see how she sounds. And see what kind of horsepower this completely stock V16 on a stock ECU. Yeah, I made 106. 106 horsepower with no VTEC. Hang on, let me shrink this down. All right, now that it should be warmed up a little bit now, let's see if VTEC actually kicks in. These Hondas take forever to warm up, I tell you what. How long the pull is, dude?
Yeah.
That's only in 3rd. That's 3rd gear. For me to get a pull that long on my old dyno, I would have to be at least in 4th gear. Even just an all-motor V16 car. But like, it just sounds so good. Like, it sounds like how the car would actually be on the street. And I think I might actually do a run on the street to try to replicate this exact run that we just did. Starting at like $2,000 and then running it to the rev limiter and seeing how accurate the dyno roller weight is in comparison to the street. All right, guys, I'm out here in the Del Sol, gonna do a street pull, and yeah, as you can see, we're just driving down the road. I'm gonna turn onto this wide open back road here, and we're gonna do a 3rd gear pull, and then I'm gonna do it just like I did on the dyno, so we can see if the amount of time doing a pull on the dyno, I think the dyno run was like 10 to 12 seconds. I want to see how close it actually is to a real world street pole. Alright, just gonna verify that we got room here to do a third gear pull. I'm gonna start at 2500, just like we did on the dyno. And we're gonna see how long it takes. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, it made 140 yesterday, it made 140 today, so. And it's on SAE, so I don't know if that's what I should be running. Let's put it in standard once and see what the difference is. Channels, SAE, what is it uncorrected? Let's try it. So it made 140 SAE, it made 145 uncorrected. So that's 145. I don't know how to make this bigger. I wish I could. All right, guys, so I got the font. I don't know what my Regamaster buddy did here on fixing the font, but now if we look at the dyno screen, we can actually see it runs clearly, and you guys should be able to read it on camera. So you can see we made 140 horsepower SAE, and we made 106.7 with no VTEC. And we can view this based off of speed on the bottom, or RPM. So if we click this, we can click CPU and then go to general. So now that's the graph based off of engine RPM. You can see this thing's really struggling above 7,000 RPM. I think that's those B16 cams. They don't really like to run up top. But yeah, so this is it based off of RPM. Everything's working great. I'm pretty excited. And obviously the most important part is how good the car sounds under load. It's like the most proper just dyno pull I've ever done. It just feels so good. And that's only third gear. I can really load this car up if I really need to in order to get some really solid tuning done. Yeah, it's just a stock B16. She doesn't make a whole lot of power. It ain't no Type R. So that's gonna be really, really helpful in the future. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys are excited that we got the dyno up and working. Everything is working properly. I'm just doing some minor things with like adjusting the font so the screen, you're able to see the power numbers and stuff like that. Maverick's pretty excited about it too. And yeah, so stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully the audio will get better as time goes on. You know, like I said, the next video is probably going to be crappy too, but I'm going to try to make the best of it and still make a good video for you guys. Today's Bible verse that I'm going to share with you is Romans 8:38, and it says, "Neither death nor life will separate us from the love in Christ Jesus." So, thanks for watching, guys. God bless, and have a great night and a better tomorrow. We'll see you later.